Okay, we are about to tackle something absolutely profound today. We're diving into an identity-shattering concept based on ancient wisdom. And honestly, it's a philosophy that has the power to completely alter how you view yourself and the entire universe around you. The source material we're unpacking in this explainer takes us on a journey deep, deep into our own consciousness. It is not just some dry philosophical exercise. We are investigating the very core of who we actually are.
So, I really want you to stop and imagine this for a second. Where were you before you were born? Think about a time when the earth existed, the sky existed, time was flowing along just fine, but your name, your specific identity, and your physical body did not exist at all. Were you just nothing? Or were you maybe present in some form that you've simply forgotten? Now, this isn't a new thought. It's the exact same question that troubled ancient sages, truth seekers, and figures like Nachiketa thousands of years ago.
The lens we're going to use to answer this monumental question is called Advaita Vedanta. This is an ancient philosophical system championed by the great thinker Adi Shankaracharya, and it explores the non-dual nature of consciousness. But listen, I have to warn you right up front. The answers provided by Adi Shankaracharya might completely shatter the way you perceive your own identity. By the end of this explainer, the person you've called I your entire life might look very, very different to you.
Let's get into Section 1, Memory versus True Existence.
Right off the bat, we hit a major roadblock. You see, we usually assume that because we don't remember our birth or the time before it, we must not have existed. But think about a night of incredibly deep, dreamless sleep. When you wake up, you have absolutely zero memory of the hours that just passed. But does that mean your existence was completely erased during those hours? Well, of course not. You were still there, lying in bed, existing, even though your memory recorded absolutely nothing.
And here is the absolutely crucial takeaway from the text. Lack of memory is not a lack of existence. The mind's inability to recall the past doesn't somehow negate the eternal presence of the observer inside you. Just because you don't remember the time before you were born doesn't automatically mean you weren't there. Memory and existence are literally two entirely different things.
Moving on to Section 2, the illusion of the body.
So we generally just believe our existence kicked off the exact day our physical body was born. But your physical form is in constant flux. I mean, you go from childhood to youth and eventually to old age. In fact, science confirms that almost your entire body completely replaces its cells every 7 to 10 years. That physical body you inhabited as a 5-year-old child is completely, literally gone. Yet you still look back at old photos and say, yep, that's me, I am the same person.
Which brings us to a really fascinating question. If your physical body has completely replaced itself, if your thoughts have totally changed, and if your emotions have transformed, who is the I that remains unchanged? Who is that constant, silent witness in the background that claims ownership of both your childhood body and your current adult body? Finding that unchanging observer is the true start of the spiritual journey, according to Vedanta.
To really wrap our heads around this, the Upanishads offer this profound, beautiful metaphor. Think of your body as a wave, and your true self, your consciousness, as the ocean itself. A wave rises. It takes on a specific, temporary form for a few seconds, and then it crashes back down. People look at it and say, oh wow, look at that specific wave. But did the wave actually die, or did the ocean just temporarily take a new shape? Advaita Vedanta tells us that your body is simply the wave that appears and disappears, but your true essence is the vast, unchanging ocean.
To explain this even further, the source material points to a super famous quote from the Bhagavad Gita. As a person casts off old clothes and puts on new ones, the soul casts off old bodies and enters new ones. But wait, here's the secret to that memory problem we talked about earlier. Memories belong to the mind, not the soul. Think of it like this. When you take off an old shirt, the creases and folds stay with the shirt, right? In the exact same way, when the soul sheds a body, the memories, the specific creases of that life, stay behind with the physical mind. The soul, the pure witness, just keeps moving forward.
All right, Section 3, Beyond Space and Time. To really grasp where the soul actually lives, imagine you fall into a deep sleep and start dreaming. In that dream, a vast complex world is created. Huge mountains, rushing rivers, other people. But when you wake up, what do you immediately realize? You realize those mountains and rivers weren't in a real physical location. That entire universe existed 100% inside your mind. The reality was projected from within you. This brings us to a total mind-bender of a realization. Consciousness doesn't exist within space and time. Space and time exist within consciousness. So when we sit around asking, Where was my soul before birth? We are actually asking the wrong question entirely. We're assuming the soul is a physical object sitting in a specific geographic spot. But Advaita Vedanta teaches that consciousness is way, way beyond the confines of physical locations. Space and time are just experiences happening inside consciousness, just like the dream.
Think of it like an actor on a stage playing the role of a king. The actor gets so incredibly lost in the performance, making royal decisions, feeling the king's anger, walking like the king, that he momentarily forgets he's just an actor playing a part. And guys, this is exactly what we are doing. The actor is your true eternal self. The king is just the temporary body and identity you're playing in this particular lifetime. Our suffering and our intense fear of death come purely from believing we are the king, instead of remembering we are the actor.
Which leads us to Section 4, the final awakening.
Here is Adi Shankaracharya's ultimate, profound truth. Like the sun at sunrise, you were not created at birth. You simply became visible through a new body. Think about the sun. When it rises in the morning, the sun isn't being born right then and there. It was always there. It just finally became visible from our specific perspective. Your body was born. Yes, absolutely. But the consciousness that is experiencing that body was never born. And because it was never born, it can never die.
So, if our souls are already this eternal, perfect thing, what on earth is the point of this human life? Well, unlike animals that live entirely on instinct, we actually have a unique path. Step 1, we have to look beyond just chasing external wealth and achievements. Step 2, we need to turn inward and ask the fundamental question, who am I? And step 3, we have to wake up from the illusion that we are this limited, fragile physical body. The purpose of life isn't to become something new, it is to realize what you already are.
Asking where you were before birth is exactly like a fish in the ocean asking where the water is. I mean, it's a striking image, isn't it? We are frantically searching for our origin, looking for a physical place or some mystical alternate dimension. But we are literally already swimming in the exact eternal truth we are so desperately trying to find. You were in that eternal consciousness before you were born. You are in it right this very second, and you will be in it long after the body falls away.
So, I have a final question to leave you with today. Will you spend your entire life measuring the distance to the stars, conquering the external world while remaining totally empty inside, or will you finally look within, pierce the illusion, and realize you are the eternal consciousness experiencing a temporary body? Because according to Advaita Vedanta, the moment this stops being just words on a page and becomes your actual lived experience, the whole mystery of birth and death vanishes completely. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer today. I really hope this sparked an inward journey for you.